There are things I need of you, things you may not understand and may not wish to do. But please, do not make a mistake I did. My father, Howard, deserted me before I was born. I could claim the loss of my mother, and the letter I received after her funeral blinded me to what I had to do. It would be a lie. Human nature sealed my downfall. My name is Philip. If we are lucky, then by the time you receive this, I will be dead. If fate frowns, we all perish. So, got this game a while back ago. Sake of playing it. As you can see, I played a little bit of it before. Actually recorded an entire part, 30 minutes. My story began in February year 2000. But had some issues.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Okay, so I am going to read words that appear on the screen. Finally, we're almost docked. I better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up. And I can take a closer look at things. Alright. So the reason why this is the first part as opposed to like another part being in existence is mostly words. Well, for one, game footage was too dark and my own computer screen was too bright. This is basically the Justified tutorial. What was I doing? Alright. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. flashlight, glow stick. So yeah, I upped the gamma and lowered my own lighting, whatever, so that we basically can see the same amount of whatever. Fisherman wife's love letter. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board, taking shifts because it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything, stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Okay. Hit me. Choo. Okay. Cheers. Glug, glug, glug. Okay, enough fooling around. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and new hypothermia was settling in. I started looking for shelter. So cold, don't know where I am, need shelter soon. My entire head went numb a long time ago, but I could still hear the wind roaring past. More tutorial. Hope to God it's not frozen inside as well. So weak, but if I just use interact mode, I should be able to turn the wheel. Don't need to use interact mode. Okay. Fail. Down the hatch we go. Now, most of the prior 30 minutes had been spent just fucking around in the cabin. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although, looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? Ugh. Now, I can't just drag things, I have to move with it. Okay, so now. Where is it? There it is. There. Oh, I did not notice that one before. Where's blocks? In fact, I think you guys might have a better time seeing than I do. Okay, swinging. So yeah, the reason why I also can I oops. Oh, I'm holding it. Derp dire. Okay. No wonder I couldn't open the door. Okay. Getting spooky over here. Okay. Don't know where this leads or what's waiting for me. But unless I want to starve to death, it's my only option. Besides, maybe this place has something to do with my father. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by two solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness, and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. The entrance to the cave has caved in. There must be another way out. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tints to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. My best bet is to hide for a couple of minutes or so, perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. Not as heavy as it looks, but it should serve as some sort of weapon if I have to defend myself. Okay, so it's about this point that I wasn't able to really progress because the game crashed, and yeah. Office sounds like a good spot to go first. That looks blatantly ominous. Bottle of Bactrin might come in handy. Someone got injured. A one wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom. And I'm sure that's where they learnt the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up the manual in the chest in my office and keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for them to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hand. This base is so disconnected, sometimes I feel as if this war could end. We might not even hear about it out here. Dynamite, bayonets, industrial ice pick, pair of reading glasses. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. One point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after marshal duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of light which constantly emanates from it. Alright. Key. Nice. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mind-altering chemicals naturally sown into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. It's been conducting studies in isolated communities. Local figures for the last 100 years were really high at 46 deaths per 100,000 compared to the national average of 29. Tomb gates. That sounds fun. Alright, so book of explosives. Okay. painkillers. So, fun fact for you, those of you at home. Medicine, particularly dry medicine that doesn't require any beef jerky, any refrigeration, can last quite a long time. Far beyond the expiration date, if there is one on it. Usually. It depends. Because most times the testing required to actually, test to see if any medicine actually expires, like what the expiration date actually is, takes a lot longer than what is usually on it. Doesn't mean, of course, go ahead and pop old pills. A man, an old man clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Ugh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. Hey, it's the safe point. Alright, so I think that's everything in this room. Oh god, there's something out there. Can't just wait for whatever's around that corner. Need to hide. Oh shit. Jesus, I've never been this scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I better not stare it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me, and then I am a goner. Oh, of course, it picks up. Oh boy, I'm scared. It's over there. Fuck me running. Gotta keep going. Okay. So, obvious next spot is the storage room. I'm gonna take a moment and hide in a corner and check my stuff. I don't want to get... I got scared by the wall. I don't know where I'm going. I can't think straight, so... Okay. Is it patrolling? I don't know where it is. And that terrifies me. Come on. Fuck me running. Okay, I'm going to hide in a corner and I'm going to stop the video there and then continue.